Vickery. Welcome back to this week's episode of Brave in Action. This is my weekly live show where I come in and share with you one new tip on how to step into bravery in your everyday life in every way possible. So when I'm looking this direction, I'm talking to Facebook and YouTube, and I guess just Facebook and YouTube. If I look this direction, I'm talking directly to Instagram. So I'm going to kind of give you both all the love that I can possibly give you. Thank you so much for being here. I love today's topic. Really, really excited about it. Feel free to make comments as we go. I love to hear your thoughts and connect with you. Before we do that, for those of you who are new here, welcome. Again, I'm Heather Vickery, and I am the creator of the Brave Method, which is a 360 personal and professional approach to creatively and strategically problem solving, dreaming, designing, building, and actually having a life that you love and a business that complements your life, instead of that old school approach where your life is like crammed around your business. It doesn't have to be like that. We're not doing that anymore. And also, I am here to revolutionize the idea of everyday bravery. There are thousands of ways we can choose bravely every single day. And when we know it, when we choose bravely on purpose, what happens is that we begin to choose bigger things. And those bigger things have bigger rewards and bigger payoffs. And then those things are contagious. So the people around you, they see you stepping up into your bravery. It excites them. They want to do that. They emulate that behavior. And it just builds this whole global community of people who are choosing everyday brave. And so you guys can see this over here. I have a book out. It's called Fuck Fearless. And that book does talk about the Brave Method, which is, again, this strategic approach to problem solving, creating, dreaming, designing, and building a life and a business that you fucking love. Here's the thing, folks. We have fear. We feel fear. We are afraid sometimes of some things. Maybe we're afraid a lot of times of a lot of things. I have as many as, 5 things I'm afraid of almost every single day. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Right? And so I'm here. I feel like my whole purpose in being on the earth is to help folks get really cozy with their fear, get to understand it, take it apart and learn from it, because everything you really want is just on that other side of fear. You want to get uncomfortable. You have to get uncomfortable to try new things. We're going to fail. We're going to fuck it up. And today's topic is all about what happens when the bottom falls out. What happens when we fuck up? What happens when there is a breakdown of some sort? Before I get into that, I want to just let you all know that next week is a vacation week. I am taking my kids on spring break, so I will not be here. But I encourage you all, anytime I'm going to be on vacation, I always encourage you all to come and rewatch past episodes or get in the DMs or share with other people how you're out choosing bravely, how you're putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, all of that fun stuff. So you guys can still be brave in action, even if I am on vacation, which is my brave thing, because I could still do this live show while I'm on vacation. But for me, my brave thing is actually being present with my kids and with my family and giving them all of my love and attention. And that is a new and wonderful, thing in the last maybe decade. I see Antoine here. Hello, Antoine. It's so nice to see you. Gosh, I miss you. Who else is here? If you're here, say hi. It's always nice to know who is here. I can see lots of eyeballs, but I don't know who's joining us. We have 2 new episodes of both the Brave Files and Was It Chance podcast out right now. And I hope you guys will check it out. So you can find both of those podcasts by going to vickeryandco.com/social. There are direct links, really incredible episodes. I know you guys are going to want to go and check them out and then share them. Thank you. Antoine says vacation is well-deserved. Yes, it is. PM is here. Candace says, yeah, it's brave and you're new. Candace, welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you for being here. As always, everyone who's been here regularly knows that I invite you to have a conversation with me. Give me your feedback. Share your thoughts in the moment. I will talk directly to you. These remain available. You can access every single episode of Brave in Action on YouTube. And since I've started recording them also on Instagram Live, you can find them on Instagram as well. So today we're talking about the breakdown method. I don't want to use the word method too many times. I don't want to confuse you. But what happens when the bottom falls out? I love it. I love to curse. We all know that. I said, okay, Chris Davis Proud is trying to Instagram video me, and I think that's an accident, Chris. right? Is that an accident? I'm going to stop that so that we don't interrupt the live feed on Instagram. You guys, sometimes shit happens. Sometimes the bottom falls out. Sometimes things break down. In fact, in life and in business, a lot of the time things break down. Maybe we're the thing that breaks down. Maybe we just don't have it. Maybe we don't have the energy. Or maybe a team member dropped the ball, or you don't know something to get started, or somebody's moving too slow, or a client drops a bomb that you weren't ready for. It could be anything. Your kids, yesterday, I had a whole full schedule, and one of my daughters, she just needed her mother. She just needed me. And I own a business for a reason, to have flexibility, to be able to show up in all of the ways and all of the places when I want to show up. Hey, Chris, looks like you found us. And so I reached out and I rescheduled my day, and I went and I picked her up. I swooped her up. We went out to lunch. We did a little window shopping. She went with me. I had a physical therapy appointment for my back that I couldn't reschedule. And she just mostly needed to be seen and be loved and be heard. And I have the ability to do that, right? So my day broke down and I went through this method. Okay. So I'm going to share this. What happens when something breaks, when the bottom falls out, when it's not working, whatever it is. And you guys can feel free to chime in and share some of the ways that things have broken down in the past or are maybe breaking down right now. But the very first thing that you want to do is acknowledge that there was indeed a breakdown. Something didn't work the way you wanted it to work. That's the first thing. Acknowledge that there was a breakdown, because we so often want to just push through and pretend shit's not bad. Oh, we can focus. Oh, it'll be okay. Blah, blah, blah. This is where toxic positivity comes into play. Oh, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Let's just be positive. Let's not talk about it. Fuck that noise. Yes, I love positivity. I am a big fan. I think our mindset matters a lot. And I believe that when we approach things from a positive perspective, it feels better. We move through it all quicker. But that does not mean that I don't want you to be honest about what sucks or how we're truly feeling. We definitely want to be honest about how we're truly feeling about whatever it is, and acknowledging that there's a breakdown or a problem or some nasty shit. That is number one. And it's really important. Number two is take responsibility for whatever you can in it. All right. So it's so easy to place blame on other people when something goes wrong. And that doesn't mean that maybe those other people don't hold responsibility, but in some form or fashion, we always hold responsibility for something. We could have had a better conversation. We could have checked in more. We could have had a tighter schedule. We could have had better communication policy. We could have expressed our needs or wants better. Maybe we could have had better boundaries, all sorts of things, all sorts of reasons. So number two is to take responsibility. Number three is to forgive. So we've acknowledged there's a problem. We've owned up to it and whatever our role is in it. And then we understand what the other players' roles are in it. And then number three is forgiveness. Forgiveness of ourselves and or someone else. What do we need to forgive? Who do we need to forgive? Because forgiveness, we have to remember, is a gift that is for you. Forgiveness is not about those who are forgiven. It is about us. It frees us emotionally, mentally from holding real estate for something that doesn't need to have power over us. And then the fourth one is make a new plan. And so I had mentioned something that seems so silly, rescheduling my day yesterday so that I could go and pick up my kiddo and spend time with her. And was there a breakdown there? There was a breakdown. I mean, she had a little personal breakdown, but also there was a breakdown in my schedule. There was a breakdown in my day that I then needed to figure out how to reconfigure and let those things back in other places, right? So acknowledging that this is going to shift my whole day and maybe shift days for the next couple of weeks, because I have to, these things still need to get done. I had interviews, podcast interviews. I had team member interviews for some people that I'm hiring for my team, and I had to find new spaces for those things. So I acknowledge that there was that breakdown, and I take responsibility. I'm owning this. I'm not making excuses. I did not how often do we do that? Right? We want to change something, or we want to get out of something, and we somehow feel like we have to lie or apologize about why. Recently recently something didn't get put in my schedule and I didn't show up for it, because if it's not on my Google Calendar, you can bet your ass I'm probably not going to show up for it. That's a system that really helps me. And I totally admitted to the person who I accidentally stood up, listen, it didn't show up on my calendar. I'm not sure why. It should have. It's clearly a fault on our end. And I apologize. And she was like, thank you so much for being honest and not saying that there was a fake emergency or whatever, because sometimes I don't put things on my calendar and then I forget them. And it's nice to know that I'm only human, right? So we want to be honest, take responsibility, and then forgiveness. That sounds silly because I was momming, right? And momming is important and we want to be able to do that. But being a business owner is important too. And being held accountable to the people who are going to be guests on my show or the interviews that I had set up or whatever I was doing, it's a very easy to beat ourselves up. It's very easy to say, oh, how can I possibly have a successful business if I don't do everything all the time, or if I have to make changes or go back and do something differently. So forgiving myself for having to put business on hold to go and take care of my kid, it's important to acknowledge that. It's important to say, I forgive you, Heather, for taking time away from your business because what you need right now is to spend time with your kid. And it could be, maybe it goes the other way sometimes too. Sometimes we have to forgive ourselves for taking some time away from our family to focus on our business. The thing is about balance is it's not the scales of justice. It's not about equality. 50% of your time is here or 50% of your time is there. Balance is about how you feel when you check in with yourself at the end of the day, the week, the month, or the year, right? And if you feel good about how you're spending your time, if you feel like you're accomplishing the dreams and the goals that you want and the visions that you want, and the people who work with you and your family members feel loved and supported and happy, then you can be balanced. And whatever that looks like is going to change maybe on a day-to-day basis. And then the fourth one is make a new plan. So we've acknowledged that there's a breakdown. We've taken responsibility. We've forgiven ourselves or others, and we make a new plan. What are you going to do instead? Yesterday, as I was changing my plans, I said, I'm not available here. I have to take care of something with my daughter. However, I can do this, this, or this. How does this work? I rescheduled. Everything was fine. One of those meetings has already happened. One of them is going to happen next week. Now, next week, I told you guys I'm on vacation, but I come back with my kids late on Wednesday, and I had taken Thursday and Friday mostly off to have some time for myself. I did give in a little bit on that and move yesterday's podcast interview to Friday because I wanted to accommodate my guests. And so there's a give and take, right? We want to make sure that we're being reasonable and responsible with a give and take. So I'm just going to repeat what happens when when you're moving through breakdown again. Acknowledge, take responsibility, forgiveness, make a new plan. Now what I want to do is apply the BRAVE method to going through breakdown. So for those of you who are new, Candace is new, the BRAVE method, my strategic and creative approach, problem solving, dreaming, designing, building, and actually having a life and a business that you completely fucking love. BRAVE is an acronym. BRAVE stands for boundaries. What I call the 3 R's: reassessment, reframing, resilience, action and accountability, vulnerability, and then your results: expand and empower. When you do those other things, when you show up for yourself in the BRAVE method, your result is expansion and empowerment, which is fucking incredible. And no one can expand or empower you except you. These two things are gifts that you give yourself. Other people, including me, we can coach, we can guide, we can mentor, we can inspire, we can train, we can do all of those things. But the process of expanding and empowering is personal, and you are the only one that can do that for yourself. So let's start back at the beginning. Step number 1 when you're in breakdown is acknowledgement. And acknowledgement would fall under the 3 R's. That's a reassessment piece. What happened? What was going on here that this happened? And then it's reframing. Okay, so this happened. I'm acknowledging it. What did I learn from it? What can I do differently? All of that, right? So those are the 3 R's. The second one is take responsibility. And that one falls in 2 categories. It's the 3 R's, reframing, and also accountability, right? Take responsibility. So it's that reframing piece. This is what happened. This is why it happened. This is what I learned from it. This is what I can change, do differently in the future. I'm going to own that. and even if it's a team member, a family member, somebody else who was partly responsible for the breakdown, I'm going to have this new conversation, or we're going to set a new boundary, or we're going to communicate better about X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. You take responsibility, you hold accountability, you reframe it, right? And then forgiveness. And forgiveness, folks, that's vulnerability. That's the V in the Brave method, because it takes a lot of honesty and authenticity and connecting deeply with yourself to actually forgive. It's a very vulnerable act, because sometimes we don't want to, right? Sometimes we don't want to forgive. Sometimes we want to be mad, and you can be mad for as long as you need to be mad. But remember that when you hold that anger inside, all it does is own you. So you can do that for as long as you need to do that. But when you're ready to release it and forgive yourself or others, you just feel like you lose a lot of weight, right? You lose a lot of that dead energy that's holding you down, taking up that really valuable real estate in your heart, your mind, and your soul. And then the last one is make a new plan and put it into action. And that is clearly action, but also you can utilize a lot of the rest of the Brave method to do that. Boundaries in particular, right? This thing happened. I'm acknowledging it. I'm taking responsibility for it. These other people also have responsibility. We're going to have some conversations about that. We're going to have forgiveness across the board. And then we're going to get up and we're going to do it differently this time. We're going to do it this way next time, right? So important to do that. I'm happy to share this. If anybody didn't, you didn't write it down, or you want to know what it is, please reach out. You can send me comments, get into the DMs. I am on Instagram and Twitter at Vickery & Co. I'm on TikTok at Brave Heather. I'm going to talk a little bit about this as well on TikTok. And if you guys want to talk more about it, share what your breakdowns are. We can talk through how this can support you. I would love to do that. All right, let's pull a Create Brave card. For those of you who don't know these, my friend and colleague Rachel Swanson and I created these cards. We love tarot cards and affirmation cards, and we wanted to do, she's a creativity coach and I'm the Brave Method coach. And so we wanted to create cards similar to an oracle or an affirmation card. They're manifestation cards to help you source and guide your next step in life and in business. And they're beautiful. Rachel did all the artwork. They're gorgeous. I adore them. They come with a beautiful booklet. And the booklet has each focus word, an affirmation, and some coaching guidance, and what we call a Create Brave prompt. So I'll just show you, span these. Rachel did all of these. They all have a focus word and an affirmation, and they're just stunning, beautiful cards. So I'm going to pull one for you today. So this card, oh, Antoine, thank you. On point. Appreciate you. Love you too, friend. I'm so glad to see you here. Thank you for being here. Whatever card, I always just kind of feel like I know you guys do cards. If I can lay them out, I will often lay them out and then like put my hand over them and feel if one gets hot, then that will be the card that I pull. But in this case, I am pulling whatever card feels like it popped out. And this one literally popped out at me. And I love this card. And I don't think I've ever pulled this card since we released the deck. Gathering. And this feels so perfect for me. I'll tell you why in a second, but I want to know how it feels for you. I naturally draw people, objects, and experiences that are meant to be in my life. Gathering. I'm going to share it with everyone. It's gorgeous. How does this card make you feel? When you pull a card like this, the first thing is, what is the word? Like, do you get a hit? When you hear that word, what does it tell you? Because usually we know, folks, oh, this means X, Y, Z for me today. I know this means two clear things for me. Like, as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was trying to tell me. And then maybe how does the artwork inspire you? If you sit and think about it, visualize on it or meditate on it. If you do that, what comes up for you? For me, there are two very specific types of gathering that I am welcoming into my life right now. And the very first one is next week's vacation. This week's, I'm leaving on Friday, vacation, going to stay with my sister, Kim, who I haven't seen in a long time. And she's opened her house to me and my girls, and we are going to go and just relax with her. And she's excited and I'm excited and they're excited. And we're going to have a lot of fun together. We're going to gather as a family in a way we haven't done ever, really. So that's going to be phenomenal. And the other thing is professionally, as I am beginning to soft launch the Brave Circle, which is a membership community for coaches, consultants, and strategists. So for those of you watching, this is not yet out for public release. We are in the early launch stages, but if you want to know more, first of all, make sure you're on my newsletter list. So you can sign up for that at vickeryandco.com/social, but also send me a message and let's just jump on a call. Let's talk about if this program or if this community membership might be for you. But coaches, consultants, and strategists, it can be such a lonely job. We don't have an office, solopreneur in general can be a lonely job, but the community, the coaching, consulting, and strategist community is incredibly rich. And you can be in so many different industries. You can be in parenting or health or social media or metaphysical, right? Whether you're an intuitive or an energy healer, you can be a different type of coach, life coach, mindset coach, business coach. I have a coach who is an organizer, she's an organizer and she coaches her clients on how to live organized, cut out the chaos in their life. So many different categories, right? So many different ways that you can do that. And so the Brave Circle is a community membership for those folks. And it is housed in Slack. And then our live meetings are going to be in Zoom. And it comes with a lot of things. So here's just sort of the high level. It wasn't my intention to tell you guys about it, but I got the gathering card. So I'm just telling you that's what's coming. We're going to be gathering B2B networking, laser hot seat coaching, working together to do dreamscaping and goal planning, quarterly book clubs, right? So that you can communicate and connect and be together. So when I saw that gathering card, I knew it was really speaking to me in that way. And I love that. I want to know what it meant to you. You can comment and let me know how that card felt with you. What's it telling you? What's it connecting with you about? And then I'm going to go over that breakdown method one more time. What happens when the shit falls apart, when the bottom falls out? Acknowledge that there's a problem or a breakdown. Take responsibility, forgive yourself or others, make a new plan, right? I want to know how that works for you. How does that serve you? Oh, I am still live. Okay. I don't know what happened, folks. I apologize, but I'm still here. I don't know what happened. Let me know how this breakdown method fits in with your life, what you're up to, and take a listen to the Brave Files podcast and also Was It Chance? And I will be back with you in April. Goodness gracious. Still live. I know. Instagram was fine. Somehow we had an issue on my computer, but that's okay. So thank you guys for those of you who stayed with me the whole time. I really appreciate it. I'm super, super grateful. I want to know what's connecting with you, how you're out choosing bravely. Thank you for being here. If anything I've said interests you or you want to know more, just reach out. You can DM me. You can message me. You can text me if you have my phone number. You can email me. I'm Heather Vickery, reminding you today and every single day, please, to go out and choose bravely. See y'all later. Bye. You too, Instagram.